There was this coach, there was this teacher. That's how kind of every chapter starts in this booklet called To Coach and Inspire. Because think about it, that's probably why you're doing what you do. There was a coach or a teacher that impacted you so much. In fact, let's ask 4 questions. Just think about who's the answer to this question outside of your family. Number 1 is this: who gave you the confidence that you have now? Second question: who is it that you learned to trust from and you were willing to risk because of trust? Who gave you that? Number 3, who inspired you to seek out this profession? And number 4, who believed in you when you were young? Guess if outside your family that was a teacher or a coach. And that makes so much of a difference in people's lives. You know, I know why I'm coaching, I know why I love to teach, and that was a teacher and a coach that I had back in high school. We've all had those people in our lives. You know, good coaches can encourage and motivate. Great coaches get every ounce out of their athletes because they do the same thing. They encourage and motivate, but it's through love and respect. And man, they're great coaches. In the book, we talk about 7 motivational concepts that reflect the call to coach. But the one we're going to deal with today is visualize success. People who coach, there was this coach, probably saw more in you than you saw yourselves. That happens. You see more in the other people, and we need to bring that out in people. So let's talk about this. The first thing is this. From a team standpoint, make sure your team sees where you're taking them. You know, one thing I hear all the time is, from coaches, and I'm like this: one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time, one day at a time. I'm very much that way when I coached. But you know what else our athletes want to see? The vision of where we're taking them as a team. Where are we? Where's the final product going? What are we showing them? Where are we taking them? Let them see that visualization. Let them see where it's all happening to. What a great thing we can do. Second is find victories. Our young people are going to go through times it's going to be a struggle for them. They've moved up in category. Maybe they were the biggest, strongest, fastest kid 2 years ago, and now everybody's caught him. And it's going to be a struggle for them in some of the skills they're trying to do. Make sure when they do get that skill, we find that victory and see what you did. Make sure they see it. That's the visualization. Look who you are. Look where you've become. What a great motivational tool that we can give them as they walk through. Sometimes we're going to get stuck and say, we're not getting any better. We're just not getting any better. Remember where you came from. Coaches, I think one thing we really, really need to do is take a step back once in a while. Look at a film from a month ago or 2 months ago and see how far we've really improved. Sometimes we get so caught up, and then we need to take that to our athletes and say, see how far you've come as a team? See where we've focused on and what it's brought to us? Because sometimes we get stuck in this one spot. We really aren't stuck there. We just think we're stuck there. Show them where they have come from. But probably the last one I want to talk about is this. Remember who you're coaching. We're coaching not just athletes. We're coaching the next people that are going to go out in our community and be the leaders. They're going to be teachers and coaches. They're going to be parents. They're going to be spouses. They're going to be business leaders. Make sure we understand that's who we're coaching. I'm sure you've all heard this, paraphrasing the quote from John Wooden after one of his championship years. He got asked, was this a successful season? And his comment was, I'll know in 20 years. That's what we're coaching. People 20 years out. Can you visualize who they're becoming? If you ever get stuck in that, go back and take a look at a picture of one of the first teams you ever coached. And then walk through all those young athletes and figure out where they are today. And you're going to put a smile on your face because you were part of that process that showed them who they could become. But maybe one of the most important things to do to have young people see where they're going is to understand where they've been. If you're called to coach, make sure you understand each athlete's story. And each athlete's going to have a story that we need to know so that we can point them in the right direction and have them visualize success. For me, it was a young man very quickly that for 25 years I didn't know because it wasn't intentional. I'm asking you to be intentional. For 25 years I didn't know his story, but he ended up being very successful for being in our program. And when he thanked us, the story came out. And he lived in a household that he was getting beat up all the time. And he just wanted out. We got him out. The bad thing is it wasn't intentional. We didn't know that was happening. Do you know your athlete's story? That young man's now been a police officer for over 25 years, married with 2 great kids. If he stayed in that, we didn't have that chance to give him an opportunity to move on, who would he be today? All our athletes have stories. Make sure you know their story so you can help them visualize success. Called to Coach, one aspect is visualize success. There's 6 others, motivational concepts. But let's make sure we're a life changer for those athletes we coach, because somebody was a life changer for you.